Good morning, my lovely friends, or hello, whenever part of the day you're watching this. Welcome to my garden tour where we are exploring my lovely mature garden set in New Jersey. I'm in garden zone 8, which means that I've got pretty temperate climate, harsh winters, but warm enough summers, and things grow relatively easy here. We do have lots of deer that frequent our gardens, so keeping these beautiful flowers is a bit of a challenge, but there's lots of really good deer solutions that I've found over the years to help me keep my garden flowery and colorful, so I'll make sure to list them in the description box below. So let's begin the tour. So as you can see, this is our patio area. In the beginning of my kitchen, we have that lovely lush floral setting, but this is where we usually sit down to relax over a lovely meal with the barbecue adorned with a couple of ferns and some other foliage around the barbecue, and it creates a really nice relaxing atmosphere. And here's our seating area with these You Are My Sunshine cushions, and I love them. They're so cute, and I found those on Amazon. And this year I went for a really subdued color palette with just olive and green as my accent colors, and I've really enjoyed it this year, just taking it back to nature. So this is the overview of what the patio area looks like, and we absolutely love it. Now as we get into the main bit of our garden. Our garden's a bit of a horseshoe shape, and the landscaping has been done in a very clever way that it doesn't exactly back onto the fence, if that makes sense. So that creates a true secret garden if you go through behind the trees. So there is a lovely little gap between the trees and the actual fence to our property, and it's created this hidden bit of paradise. Sometimes you can find random things there, like this collection of tubing, for example, which my landscaper will need to take away. I also have these very old bistro chairs that have been here for years, and I want to rehabilitate them onto our patio extension, so I might see what I can do with getting them rehabilitated. I haven't used them for years, but I don't know, there were times when I just like to get into a secret space and just have a nice cup of tea away from it all. So that's why that was set up. But yeah, they're in okay condition. One's broken, but the other one's fine. So I might set that up with a new coat of spray paint and put that on our patio extension. So as you can see in our secret garden, it is pretty serene. That is the trees that I've mentioned are planted in front, and that's the little gap that it provides. And these trees are mature, so look how tall they go. It's really ideal. It's like having a little bit of a forest right in my own backyard, and it's very grounding to come out here first thing in the morning and just be one with nature. So we're very fortunate to live in a state with mature trees and so much natural beauty around us. So as you sort of come through the forest, you can see there are little gaps in the trees, and it's just a wonderful way to spend a morning or spend some time for a little bit of solitude. So we're going to go through one of the gaps to get to the main part of the garden again. Time to leave our bit of serenity and get into our more mainstream piece of tranquility in the garden. So as I said, our garden is shaped like a bit of a horseshoe, so this is the beginning of the horseshoe shape. And on these borders, we have planted some bulbs, which this year have not done amazing. These are our yellow orchids. I forgot the exact name of them, but I will look. But there are lots of borders here that I could cultivate and get quite colorful with time. But when I moved into the property, as you can probably tell, it was a lot to get my head around. So after 10 years, I think I can start cultivating these borders and making them even more beautiful. A few things that I have planted are the hydrangeas. I've always loved hydrangeas from living in England for many years. I got a hydrangea bush for my very first Mother's Day in the UK, and ever since loved them. So I planted these, I would say maybe 5 years ago here, and they've done so well. Every year they're just beautiful, this year especially. Then we've got what I believe is a hibiscus tree, and these bloom in July, and the color is magnificent with this sort of bright purpley color. So as we walk down our driveway and out of my main garden, we are getting toward the front of my home, and here is where I planted our blue hydrangeas. So obviously hydrangeas change color depending on the pH of the soil. And for some reason the blue ones are more coveted than the pink ones. I don't know why, like people treat their hydrangeas to get them to go blue more so than they do to get them to go pink. So these have been untreated. These are just what naturally occurs within the soil on my home, and they are stunning this year. Again, these were planted maybe 5 or 6 years ago. I think about 5 or 6 years ago, and the first few years nothing happened, and then boom, they went bloom. So we've got mulch because I'd like to mulch the front of our property. So now we're back in the back garden, and we're going up our stone stairs back onto our patio area. And I wanted to show you the patio extension. So we opted for pea gravel, and in that area I will be adding a few more plants eventually. But right now I am just so happy with how my rose garden is turning out. These roses are Maurice Utero Painters Brush roses, and they're stunning, guys. I love the multitude of colors that you get in these roses. They are hardy, they are sun-loving, but they're quite hardy and disease resistant. And this myriad of colors between the hot pink, light pink, and yellow are so stunning, and they attract lots of butterflies, and they smell gorgeous. So if you're looking for a nice shocking pink rose to add to your garden, I would totally recommend the Painter's Brush Maurice Utero roses. I got these from the Home Depot, so if I can find them online, I'll link them in the description box below. I also added a few hydrangeas into my rose bed, so we'll see how they do. Now in the pathway, I would call this maybe the courtyard of our patio. I like that, the courtyard. We've got, of course, hydrangeas, which are a perennial favorite of mine. The light green shrub here is cedar, And this is evergreen, it won't change in the winter. Then the pink one, I believe, is a delphinium, and we have some snapdragons. And the brown one is an aster? Yes, it's an aster. And guys, did you know that plants have meanings? Yes, plants have meanings. So whenever you're looking at plants and flowers to choose for your garden, Google what are the meanings of the plants and flowers, and you'll be surprised at what they symbolize. So I'm really happy with the selections I made here, and I love what they symbolize as well. And then we've got this bird of paradise plant along the edging just for a little bit of height and variety. And I love those plant pots that it's in. So this is our garden, guys. I really hope you enjoyed my tour. And yeah, it's a wonderful, peaceful, serene space. And we're really, really happy. And we're spending lots and lots of time out here this summer. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, share, and comment, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!